On Saturday in Las Vegas, Israel Adesanya, a Nigerian-born UFC fighter, will attempt greatness and, of course, will make an attempt to become just the second person in history to become a two-weight category heavyweight champion in UFC. On that note, I welcome you to Sports Arena, and of course, this is the show where we get to give you the best of sporting gist. Yours sincerely, my name is Osahari Guman, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the airwaves, hosting the show, the very first episode, and of course, I'm glad to launch it to you, and of course, I urge you to stay with us. Subsequent episode will be coming up, and of course, you have to stay with us to get the best of sporting gist. The show is power-packed this afternoon, and of course, we'll be giving you everything that you need to know about Israel Adesanya's fight on Saturday in Las Vegas. And also we'll be touching down on Nigerian Football Federation President Ahmadu Mevepenig, who will be vying for FIFA Council seat much later in the month of March. And also we'll touch down on some football stories from the Nigerian scene. And of course, fixtures and football stories, and of course, a sporting story to expect this coming weekend. And of course, everything that has to do with sports in general. I'm not alone on the show today. I have the pleasure of having a Rhythm FM sport presenter, one that has seen it all in sports presentation, Ayola Adeleke, to join me dissect everything in this show this afternoon. Ayo, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good day to you, sir.
How's your day going?
Yeah, it's fine, as you can see.
Let's quickly talk about what to expect on the show this afternoon. Israel Adesanya will be going up against a Polish fighter on Saturday in the UFC. It's just the second person in history to attempt what's about to be done. He's moving up a weight category from flyweight to light heavyweight category.
Well, it's not a mistake for every man in life. You have something they call self-aspiration, and that is what is actually desiring to match up now, moving away from 185, the category, from lightweight down to the light heavyweight, which is going to be a very big one. It's going to be a day with destiny for him, and I'm very sure that against his opponent who has been there, and of course, he's a very strong guy in that category. So Adesanya is going to have it very, very tough for him, no doubt about this one. But there's nothing bad in trying. There's no harm in trying, and that is why he's going out for this one. I'm very sure that come Sunday morning, yes, in Nigeria here, it's going to be a songs of victory for everyone. Though it's not going to be a very easy one, because you take a look at this fight, it's going to be a battle of wisdom. And of course, a battle of strength in this one. Adesanya is a very, classical, fighter, a very good attacker. He's got the, wisdom, he's got the intelligence in him. But this man is fighting up against is a very strong man. His strength, his body, his physique alone, is going to be a very big challenge for Adesanya. But when you're talking about a guy who is full of wisdom when it comes to UFC, he's come out to say that he's going to use his leg. Part of what he's going to use, going traditional, going the old ways, applying his leg in this fight, and that's going to be a very huge plus for him. It's just a matter of you getting to know what the weak point of your opponent is and how to approach him, and that is what I think Adesanya should be doing against opponent when they come up in the fight.
Israel Adesanya has gone 25 undefeated, a couple of knockouts on the way. Are we expecting something like that much later on Saturday or in the early hours of Sunday morning down here in Nigeria? And of course, if you are viewing from any part of the world, it has to be, of course, Saturday night. For those of you viewing from Nigeria, it is the early hours of Sunday morning. Do you think we'll be seeing another technical knockout or a knockout like we saw against Paulo Costa, his last opponent in the UFC?
It's going to be a very huge fight for him against Jan, who had done 35 fights in all. He's won 27 of it and lost 8. So experience will count for Jan in this one. The Polish, we know him to be a very good fighter. He won his fight, and of course, he had defended it twice. Does the same thing as Adesanya in his own category as well, winning the interim, defending it twice. And for Jan now, Jan is going on 4, winning streak. So for Adesanya, he's also on like 3 or 4 winning streak, but the category is different, and that's why I just want him to just, going into this one, you have to be very, very calculative against the opponent. You must not rush him too much.
He granted an interview during the week, and he talks about how so many Europeans have taking goods from Africa, and his desire to see that Africans reign supremely in the all category in the UFC. And of course, it's a way for Africans to repay the Europeans, and how they can repay them by beating them, and of course, taking some gold back to Africa. Let's take a look at that interview.
Smell a submission coming, but if not, definitely he's gonna run into something. I see it happening like a bit like the Whitaker fight, if I'm being honest. Honestly, I like the look of that, just the powerful image with, I used to say 3, but I'm going to correct myself and say 4 African-born UFC champions, just side by side, united in strength. Like I said before, they've taken a lot of gold from Africa, so it's time we take some gold back to Africa. We've been doing that, so adding 2 new collections to our gold will be very nice, and then stand united and shine and inspire our people.
Israel Adesanya right there telling us how Africans have been exploited and goods taken from Africa to Europe, and how he hopes to see Africans reign supremely in all weight category in the UFC. And of course, what better way to do that? Let's touch down on football now gradually, where we get to talk about the king of sports, football. But before then, Amaju Pinnick, the NFL president, vying for FIFA Council seat, and he has gotten the blessings of the federal government of Nigeria. What are the chances of Amaju Pinnick becoming a FIFA Council member, and also what does that mean for African football and Nigerian football, to be specific?
Well, what it means for African football and Nigerian football specifically is that we definitely be in the midst of those who take decision in the world of football. This is the highest decision-taking body in FIFA, and for us having a Nigerian there, we've had about 2 of them once upon a time, and we know what you can write home about them. But for Amaju Pinnick, he's been there right from time, and I'm very sure he's going to secure his position. It's just about a political game, exactly, and how well you can play your game. And he's been able to put his tent well with the winning team, of Gianni Infantino, in court now. And we've seen what they've done so far, from dethroning Di Marino as Isaiah to after so over 25 years, of reign as CAF president, then bringing on Ahmad. Then from there, he began to find his way into the top level, which is going now. Now that Nigerian government is supporting this man, it's a very big one for them. Yes, generally, I read one of these word statements, as stated by the Minister for Sport, talking about Sunday Dare, that we have Mr. Adeshino in the agricultural sector, in Africa, and we also have Okonjo-Iweala, WTO, exactly. So they want somebody also in the world of sport. So regardless of what this man has done before as NFF president, the most important thing is that, okay, this is our interest at the world level, and I think giving him their support is just the best thing they could do for him.
Nigerian Women's Football League, the NWFL. Yours sincerely was in Agbo, Delta State, during the week to cover the match between Edo Queens and Delta Queens. It ended in favor of the Delta Queens. It ended 1-0, courtesy of a 59-minute goal from a Delta Queen attacker. But here's something that caught my attention from that game. The pitch was very, very. You get to see the clip on the screen shortly, and the pitch is something that you should take note of. And also, immediately after that game, Ayo, the head coach of the team, talking about Roland Sino there, was suspended for technical and administrative reasons, and they had to bring in Better Insurance, a feeders, a coach, talking about Coach Sheyi Stalin Osaze, to come handle the Edo Queens team. Quickly, Ayo, let's talk about the Edo Queens briefly. They were in the week 8 of the Nigerian Women's Football League against the Queens. They lost, and just shortly after that, I was still on my way when we got the call that he has been suspended from handling the team, and they drafted in Coach Stanley Osise. What does this mean for a team that is vying for the sole continental position in the league? They are currently 5th on the log, and they played 8 games.
Well, so much it meant for them, actually, no doubt about this one. This man has been asked to step aside, in Nigeria, suspension. Okay, I think it's still the same word, but for me, taking a look at it from the point of my own view this time around, this man had played 8 games, won 4, draw 2, and lost 2 games. Not a very bad record. He's currently 5th on the log, at 6 points behind table topper in team of Bayelsa Queens. And I think the most important thing is that, firstly, when you are suspending a coach, it should let us know specifically, putting words in quotation or in whatever, mark that, okay, you have this guy being suspended technically. And we know that he's the head of technical teams in the Edo Queens, right? In the team, he's the head of technical department. But for the administrative, is he the one to determine what happens with the administrative department? How come you bring him on board? Or probably he's disobedient to some hierarchy, bad there. So, but then the most important thing is this: that we have Sheyi on board, talking about Coach Stanley. You would want to say that this guy can definitely bring his little wealth of experience on board. We saw what he did with the under-17 of the Bender Insurance, and from which we have about some players moving to the senior team But that should not say that we should just go to bed and think that our coach Stanley is going to give us everything we need, because this is women football, totally different to men football. This guy has been in men football all his life, to my knowledge, but bringing him to women football now, maybe they think that him assisting the two other assistants, might just go a long way in helping things out. But at the same time, let's just wait and see. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And of course, if the decision of the of the management is going to pay off, I'm very sure that the management also wants good for the team.
Definitely.
They've invested so much for the team, and what they want is good results, which I think they are working towards.
We also saw FC Robo Queens against Dream Stars Ladies. That was a derby match, and they won 5-0 in that encounter. Rivers Angels were also victorious against Royal Queens, 3-0. Nasarawa Amazon defeated Oshun Babes FC 2-0 as well. The results are currently on your screen, and you get to see them. Bayelsa Queens are apparently defeated Ibom Angels 4-0 at the Dan Iron Stadium. And also, we also saw Confluence Queens defeating Abia Angels 1-0. I did tell you that Edo Queens lost 2, Delta Queens 1-0. 4-1 in favor of Sunshine Queens was the game between Pelican Queens and Sunshine Queens. And of course, the standings right now on your screen also. And fixtures to expect this next week in the next round of games in the Nigerian Women's Football League. We'll get to see Edo Queens right here at the Samuel Ogbamundia Stadium in Benin City take on FC Robo Queens, the Lagos Land Ladies as they are called. Of course, they'll be up against Edo Queens. Abia Angels will be up against Delta Queens. Ibom Agents FC will be up against Confluence Queens. Oshun Babes will be up against Bayelsa Queens, while Pelican Stars will trade tackles against Nasarawa Amazon. Royal Queens FC will be trading tackles with Sunshine Queens. Dream Stars Ladies against Rivers Angels. True. Matches to expect this weekend in Europe are big leagues, and of course that has to do with England, Spain, Germany, and of course Italy and France as well. But let's start off from the game that was played during the week. Chelsea, apparently Thomas Tuchel has gone 10 games unbeaten and with his Chelsea team, and they went to Anfield and inflict an historic defeat on Liverpool 1-0, ensuring that Liverpool had lost 5 home games in a row. Ayo, I don't know what is becoming of the defending champion of the EPL. We've seen them gone up, high flying. I think injury sets in, and that was the beginning of their downfall. And they seem not to have gotten out of it. Younger Klopp had to welcome back Fabinho and of course Diego Jota back into the team, but they are still missing their talismanic defender. Talking about Virgil van Dijk in that team. Do you think they will be able to qualify for the Champions League, considering the fact that they are sitting above Everton, are sitting above them right now in the 6th position, and they are in the 7th position currently, and they have a couple of tough fixtures as well. The fixtures are up on your screen. You can get to see them also. Ayo.
For Thomas Tuchel going 10 games now without a defeat and conceding only just 2 goals. I can't even remember how many shots on target his team had received over time.
Until the 86th minute, there was no shot on target.
And the one that we even saw was even a mere header that could not even that won't be able to threaten my grandmother.
Wow, really?
But at the same time, I will tell you that Chelsea did themselves some good thing by winning that game, because that is going to give them some more push into the top 4 in this one. They are now 4 points above Liverpool, and they are now in 4th position. Yeah. But let's wait to see what West Ham will play in their own outstanding game. As well, remember, Everton is right behind them, and Everton is giving all their power to push into the top 4. So any slip now is going to be costly to anything. But for Liverpool, this is not a very big one for them. I said it from the beginning of the season, but people thought that, as we call it downtown, bad belly, that, maybe I don't like the fact that they won the league. I said, you don't win the league and go to bed with the same set of players to play a new season.
Let's quickly talk you through fixtures to expect in Spain this weekend. Of course, there will be a derby. It's a weekend of derby. And of course, Yes Sincerely will be back here on Monday to give you the results. And of course, a roundup from other games that were played during the weekend, or that will be played during the weekend. Madrid will be up against Atletico de Madrid in the Madrid derby. This is almost like a title decider. If it ends in a draw, it more or less favors Barcelona, who is in the second position right now in the Spanish La Liga. But if any team gets to win, of course, the other team that loses will be at disadvantage. For Atletico Madrid, they are currently topping, and of course, they have an outstanding game, and they are hoping that if they get to win later this weekend, they might just consolidate on it. Guys, it's been a wonderful time having you on the show at Today Sports Arena on VOS, and of course your number one sports channel. Anytime you need sports updates, you can tune in and of course get updated. Ensure to like this video and of course share and of course turn on the notification button for you to get updated. It's been a wonderful time. Ayo, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully I'll get to have you the next time.
Anytime.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Of course, we'll be here again by Monday to give you the result. Hopefully, to give you the result from the Madrid derby and, of course, the Manchester derby. Bye for now.